Would you believe me if I said that earthquakes don't kill people? Well, it's true. Earthquakes don't usually kill people. It's the buildings that kill people. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight I'm going to share with you my research and what I do in order to help make sure that the buildings where we live, work, and study do not harm us in the event of an earthquake. There are many different kinds of buildings. You have buildings made of steel, made of concrete, made of wood, made of bricks. You have buildings with beams and columns. You have buildings with big, massive walls. And each of these buildings, they all have their own characteristics, advantages, and disadvantages, and they all perform differently during an earthquake. Now, my research focuses on a specific type of building that's become quite popular in New Zealand recently, particularly after the Canterbury earthquakes. These are hybrid buildings that combine steel frames, that is, beams and columns, together with concrete walls. So, what's the problem? Well, when engineers design buildings, we're required to adhere to a certain set of design standards. And here in New Zealand, we have standards for steel buildings, and then we have standards for concrete buildings. However, our standards do not explicitly tell us how to combine those two different structural systems together. And this is why I'm doing this research, because I want to understand these structures better, and I want to make sure that they are resilient against earthquakes. How am I going to do that? Well, first, I've been examining recently constructed steel frame concrete wall hybrid buildings in Auckland and in Christchurch. I just want to make sure how these buildings are designed and constructed in real life. Second, I'm going to conduct experimental tests on critical connection details. And I guess this is the part that sounds most exciting because I'm going to be building things in the laboratory and then I'm going to subject them to shaking until they break. Third, I'm going to develop some numerical models for a case study building, and in doing so, we can understand how the whole structure might perform during an earthquake. With the outputs of my research, I hope to be able to develop a design procedure for designing steel frame concrete wall hybrid buildings, which will hopefully contribute to the improvement of the New Zealand building design standards and to the safety of everyone here. Imagine if we didn't have to worry about buildings collapsing or buildings getting severely damaged during an earthquake. That is the future that I want to see. And it is my hope that we can all live, work, and study in safe buildings.